Hello and welcome to Archula in the Scenic Rim. Doing a bit of a road trip today up to some waterfalls which I haven't been to for quite some time, which is Queen Mary Falls in the Main Range National Park and Brown Falls. We've had a bit of rain, so I'm interested to see what they're like. I've just stopped here in Archula for a coffee before we head up through the Cunningham Gap, so it should be a fun day. So let's get to it. The village of Arachula is about an hour's drive from Brisbane on the Cunningham Highway. It's the halfway point on what is normally a 2-hour drive to Queen Mary Falls in the Main Range National Park. It's a popular roadside stop for a rest, petrol, or a visit to Arthur Clive's Bakery Cafe, famous for its award-winning pies. Leaving Arachula, you head south along the Cunningham Highway. Before long you commence the fairly steep ascent up to the Cunningham's Gap. I've driven the road across Cunningham's Gap many times, and there always seems to be roadworks, and you can almost be guaranteed to get stuck behind a truck. So take your time and enjoy the views. At the top of the road, right at the Gap proper, is a small car park from which there is access to a number of walks in this part of Main Range National Park. Unfortunately, on this day, the car park was closed due to renovations. Once through the Gap, the rainforest landscape of the Main Range National Park quickly turns into fertile farmland of the Southern Downs. It's about a 20-minute drive to Freestone Road. Turn left here and follow signs for the Cedar route. Again, the views of the farmland along this drive is pretty spectacular. Eventually you'll reach the T section with Warwick and Yangon Road. Turn left and follow this road through the small towns of Yangon and Emu Vale. You'll again reach a T section with Warwick-Killarney Road. Turn left and follow this road to the town of Killarney. Killarney is an old timber and dairy town with plenty of history. The Heritage Centre in the middle of town is a great place to learn about the early settlers, loggers and farming histories of the area. Killarney is also the perfect pit stop for lunch. About 3.5 kilometres on the other side of Killarney, turn left onto Spring Creek Road. You're now on the Falls Circuit. Follow the signs to the waterfalls. The first of the 3 waterfalls I'm visiting is Brown Falls. Turn left into the park. Here there's a play area, picnic tables, barbecues and amenities. While it's only 600 metres to Browns Falls, the walk is quite adventurous, so you should allow yourself at least 20 minutes. The walk starts relatively easily, with a concrete path leading under the road from the car park area. The path doesn't last long before you're walking along the banks of the creek. There's a couple of creek crossings in these early stages which keeps you on the path towards the falls. The track itself is reasonably well defined. There are red markers on trees that you can follow to make sure you keep on the path. The best bet is just to stay close to the creek. The walk through the rainforest and along the creek is quite pretty, and there are a number of cascades along the way. As you get closer to the falls, the track is not as clearly defined, and the obstacles become larger and more difficult to navigate. But it's not long before you get your first glimpse of Brown Falls. This last part requires you to scramble over large rocks and another creek crossing to get to the bottom of the falls. The 15-metre waterfall plunges past massive basalt columns into a rock pool below. It's quite a spectacular sight and a great reward at the end of your walk. The next waterfall on this waterfall day trip is located just over a kilometre from Brown Falls Park along Spring Creek Road. Daggs Falls Park and the lookout to view Daggs Falls is situated just off Spring Creek Road. Here there's a small car park where you can access the lookout. Flowing from Spring Creek, Daggs Falls makes a dramatic 38-metre drop into a rock pool below. This lookout is the only way to view the falls as there's no access to the bottom. I have seen more water over the falls on previous visits, but it was still worth the stop. From the Daggs Falls lookout, it's only a 4-minute drive up Spring Creek Road to Queen Mary Falls picnic area and car park. The car park is a decent size, but on a busy summer's day, be warned it can fill up quickly. The picnic area has plenty of tables and barbecues if you bring your own lunch, and there's also public toilets here. If you didn't bring lunch, directly across the road from the car park is Queen Mary Falls Caravan Park, which has a cafe where you can buy something to eat. You can also buy some bird seed and feed the local king parrots and crimson rosellas. After having a quick lunch, it was time to head down to the falls. Queen Mary Falls offers 2 walking tracks. If you're wanting to take it easy, there is the 20-minute cliff circuit, which is a 570 metre return trip. This takes you to a viewing platform where you should be able to see the falls, but the view seems to be obscured by trees. The best view is from Queen Mary Falls lookout, which you can access by following the signs for the Queen Mary Falls circuit. The Queen Mary Falls circuit is the second walking track, which is a 2-kilometre return 40-minute walk, which takes you from the lookout at the top to the base of the waterfall and back. I suggest walking the circuit in a clockwise direction, as there are a lot of stairs on the way down. On the day I was there, the stairs section was closed, so I walked up and back the same way, which is pretty easy to do. The lookout is about 200 metres along the track, and it's here you get to see Queen Mary Falls in all its glory, as Spring Creek plunges 40 metres over the falls to the valley floor below. As I mentioned, the walk down from the lookout to the base of the falls is relatively easy and only takes about 15 minutes. It's a very pretty track which goes through plenty of ferns and native Australian trees. There's often water dragons sunbaking on the rocks as well. Before long, you're rewarded with the sounds and sight of Queen Mary Falls. hope you liked this video. If you did, feel free to like, subscribe and leave a comment. I'll see you next time.